Hi. It's been a long time since I made a video, and I thought that today was going to be the day, or is today. Um, I've been thinking a lot about what makes us or the people who want to be self employed entrepreneurs, um, what makes us do it? What makes us, even though sometimes things are difficult or not easy, um, how come we actually get up in the morning and go, yeah, today is going to be a perfect day? Because that is what we do, of course, every morning. We are happy all the time, and we are like ballerinas hopping out of bed every morning, happy and perky. No, not really. Right. I have always loved being in charge of my own life. And some people call me a little bit of a control freak. I think they're right sometimes. And I don't know about you, but in my case, things are far from perfect all the time. But it's perfect in the sense that I love my life. So it's perfect, imperfect. I love the things that are different. I love that things are not always in a straight line, and you will certainly find me if people give me two things to choose from. I will ask for a third thing. So, what makes us tick? What make you tick? For me, it's my why, and a lot of you, I am sure, have heard that find your why and you will have success. I don't know if it's only your why that you need to find to have success. There's certainly a lot of other things that has to be in place. But your why is a pretty good start. Purpose is too, meaning with life, but let's just start with why. A lot of people have written a lot of different books about why and how to find your why. And I will certainly not go into deeper details because they are professionals in that way. I will tell you a little bit about my why. My why I found actually in a coaching session. It took me a lot of years, and I thought, yeah, finding my why, that's easy. I want to make money. I want to have success. I want to drive the big cars and have a big castle, nice clothes. That's enough for me. That's pretty fun too. But it wasn't the why that made me cry. Have you ever heard that before? The why that makes you cry? I was taught that your why needs to go deeper than that. I'm not saying that nice cars and dresses or houses and money is not a good thing. No way. Money makes the world go round. But the why that makes you cry what you feel in here, it has to go deeper than that. It has to be something where you feel that you will not survive the day if you haven't done what you set out to do. And again, maybe you are that person where the money drives you, and that's not a bad thing. We are different people, and we were set, put, chosen to be here for a reason. And it is certainly not always the same reason, but one thing is for sure: we are all here for a reason, and we're all here to learn. So finding my why was in a coaching session. I've always been, since I became a mother, I always put my children ahead of myself. I have more than on one occasion written posts, also sharing a little bit about that my daughter actually saved my life by coming into this world. So you would have thought that I just knew that my why was my children. But I didn't know it in that way. I knew that I wanted to do a lot of things for them, but it wasn't that deep. And when I was doing things for them. I wanted to work a lot and work hard so I could give them things and opportunities in their lives. And this person, she turned it around for me. I have been not that good in the past of taking time for myself. What I actually teach now is for you to take time out for yourself. Call it me time or you time, and self-care and self-love. It takes one to know one. I wasn't like that before. Self-care and self-love and taking time out for myself was not on the top of my list. My kids was. My husband was on that list too, but kids, cats, husband, no. Sorry. Kids, husband, trees, no. Just having fun. So it was in that order, and I got in way down here, me time. So it stands to reason that I sometimes was exhausted. And for those of you who know me, or if you don't know me, I have been through anxiety. I've had anxiety, depression, and stress, where I actually 2 times, not one, but 2 times got stress, where I shut down in the left side of my body. And that was pretty awful. So I didn't take care of myself. And this coach actually asked me, and here it is. No, I need to tell you something else. So I'm going to tell you in just a moment. Hang on. Me having depression and anxiety and so on and so on, I actually see it as a blessing, because it made me choose another direction than that I was on. And I had to think differently to actually survive, or to do what I what my values were telling me. What I was brought up with was being a good person and having good values, being nice and having a job and having a family and taking care of that family. So I actually see my former diseases as a blessing, and it also brought me to my wonderful trade and to my company today, that I can help so many people overcome health problems. I am not a doctor, so I will not start by going into if I can help people with overcoming anxiety and depression, but I certainly did by getting to know a lot more about health than I did before. So coming to my why and what this coach actually asked me, because she put me through the ringer. She was asking me left and right and all over the place, and coming back to the same thing: what is important for you? Who is important for you? And why is it important for you? And suddenly it was like, you know, that feeling where it just, you know, it pops and you just go, oh, that's right. And I actually got it felt like I got a kick in the stomach, and I started to cry because she asked me, so you're doing a lot of stuff every day. You're exhausting yourself of making sure that your family is okay. You're exhausting yourself by making sure that everyone around you is okay. You want to help the whole world with their health and empowering people and empowering women, and you're exhausting yourself. So how long do you think that this can go on? And I went, and I actually got irritated because I knew she was right, but I didn't want to admit it. Don't know about you, but taking time for myself was hard. I felt like I was slacking off. I felt that I was doing something wrong because I wanted to give all of me to everyone else. I didn't want to be ego centered. I didn't want to be selfish. I wanted to give everyone the best of me all the time. I didn't. And sometimes I actually hid in our old apartment for days because I was exhausted. So people only saw me like this and didn't know what was going on inside. They certainly didn't know that I had anxiety and depression and stress. So when I told them, they went, what? So she made me realize that I had to do things for myself. I knew that. I was already teaching that to so many other women and people. So it didn't really get in there. It wasn't my why that made me cry yet. And then she asked me, so when your children are looking at you, what are they seeing? Didn't understand the question. See a strong woman helping people? So, you think that is what they see? And suddenly I realized this is what I wanted them to see. But they were seeing a mom exhausting herself by not thinking of herself. This was the legacy that I was giving my children. See, the why that made them cry. This was actually the legacy that I was giving my children. This was the mindset that I was bringing my children. That you have to work hard and exhaust yourself to do something in life. That you're not important enough to take time to take care of yourself. This was actually what I was giving my children. And I made a decision that day that I was going to make sure that this was not going to be the legacy that I leave my children. So, what are you leaving your children? Or if you don't have children, what are you showing other people? Are you showing people the real you? Are you showing them that you're a 10? You know, a 10? Oh, now my makeup is actually going into my eyes and it's hurting. Yeah. Are you showing them that you're a 10 on the outside? When you're actually maybe feeling like a 2 in the inside? Or are you actually showing them that you may be on some days you're a 2 and some days you're a 5 and some days you're a 10? Isn't that okay? What is the legacy that we leave behind? Isn't it okay to take time out for yourself? It's like in an airplane. If there is, God forbid, but sometimes if there is something wrong with the airplane, the mask comes down and you are instructed to take it on yourself. Not if you have your children with you or your husband or friends and give them. No, you. Also, if you are a parent, you take on the mask, not the child, because if you are not getting oxygen, you cannot save your child. It's the same thing. The why that makes me cry. What are you showing your children? It doesn't matter if you're doing it right every time. The children doesn't need to think that you do it right every time because it makes them unsure of themselves. I have a small fly here. So it makes them unsure of themselves because they certainly do not do it right every time. What is it that we say if the children, they fall? Oopsie, get up again, try again, right? So why the H do we hold ourselves to those standards of actually believing that we need to do it perfect every time, or that we don't need a rest? I don't know about you, but I tell my daughter or my son that they need to take a break sometimes. My daughter, she is Mrs. Social and she loves being with her friends and she loves flying and she loves school most of the time. And sometimes she actually forgets that she needs to rest. So as a parent, I tell her, no, you are not allowed to go out today. And she gets mad. Now I'm not nice mom anymore. But I'm not supposed to. I'm her parent, and I know that it's better for her to actually be by herself for a couple of hours or a day, resting and recharging her batteries. She's an extrovert, big style, but extroverts also need sometimes to just recharge. So I can tell my daughter that. I actually also, my son, I tell him to take a break from the computer, or if we've been outside for a long while or he's been playing with his friends, break time. Take an ice cream, take a glass of water, remember yourself, cool down, get away from the screens. So do you remember to tell yourself that? Are you honest? Because I need to remind myself to do that. So the why that makes me cry is not only that I do this and get out of bed every morning for my children's sake. The why that makes me cry is actually, what am I showing my children? What is the legacy that I am leaving them? I want to teach my children that I am good enough to respect, that I love myself, and that I have some core values that are good enough for them to also live in that way, or the way that they seem fit to do. But I will certainly not teach them that it's right to work hard and exhaust yourself to the brink of getting sick. Never again. Will you? What are you teaching your children? What are you showing your surroundings? I know that you are special, and I know that you are lovable and worth the energy. And I don't know if you can see it, a little smile, a little fly, but you're worth it. You're worth everything in life, and you're also worth taking the time out, actually just being you. So I think with that, I will say thank you for listening. I hope that you could use this, even though there was a fly going around. What is it with those flies? So anyway, thank you for listening. Take care and stay safe. I will say I'm in the process of making some courses. So where I'm going to teach some of these things, also self-love. I do teach in 3 aspects. That's biological, that's social, and that's psychological. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, I'm only making 2 courses with 8 participants per each. And it's sort of a test. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, please let me know. And the cost is minimal. So and the course is, the duration is actually for a half year. So do let me know. But thank you for listening. Please write in the comments if you know what your why is, or what you got out of this, hearing this, if you got anything out of it. I am so curious to hear reactions from you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and take care. And remember, what is your legacy?